Did you comment on the video?
I made a video and people aren't liking it.
Not follow me.
Just silent haters. They're just monitoring spirits. How dare they?
We definitely had to talk about this because it's hurting us, you know? And it wasn't until I made this shift that I was able to then grow my audience of about 2 million now across all platforms. I have 12 million downloads on my solo podcast. I've led campaigns for Instagram, YouTube. YouTube named me one of the top Black creators globally. Did a VR experience for Meta. Just honored the legacy of Bob Marley over on Bob Marley's YouTube channel. I was a host on SiriusXM for TikTok. Like, I've done a lot, but it wasn't until I made this shift. And lately, oh my God, we have this regenerative spring oolong tea. Now, it's actually quite expensive, but it's just different from the soil. It's been nurtured and taken care of. I found it just down the block. Had a cool conversation with the owner, and he's like, yeah, this is the hardest label to get. He's like, regenerative, they actually come and inspect your soil, see how you're tearing the leaves apart. Like, it's crazy. You want some tea? Of course you do. Notice this trend, this attitude where creators are normalizing it as well. And I feel like it's creating a crack in a lot of our buckets where we're pouring our hard work in, we're creating, but there's a leak in our creative energy. And this is why our process keeps on getting disrupted. Now, oh yeah, first, smell that. You can tell that is like just some beautiful oolong right there. Now, I'm the type of individual, let me grab some water over here. Oh, sorry, pardon my reach. I'm the type of individual who truly wants to see all of us just pour into our creations and see us all blossom. And, you know, every single one of us has a beautiful gift and we're here to share it. But unfortunately, there's something that is disrupting a lot of us and it's becoming normalized. And that's the negative part, right? Like, when something that isn't quite right gets normalized like it is right, and that's when it really starts to become a problem. You can see the hints of like the browns and the greens in there. It's beautiful color, man. Nature is beautiful. You know, there is an uncomfortable truth that I believe we all have to accept.
Nobody asked for your art or your content. When you're first starting out, nobody's refreshing their feed hoping your video drops. Nobody's knocking on your door wanting to pay you for your passions. Just because you made it doesn't entitle you to the engagement. You have to create something so good that they can't ignore you, right? And you can't be biased. You can't just be like, because I made it, it's the best and everyone has to love it. You had to create something meaningful, so meaningful, they feel like they have to tell you or tell somebody else like, hey, check out this. There is a massive entitlement to engagement online with creators. And it's actually just a natural part of like the whole creator journey. It's a part of the process. And like we will all kind of go through it. But unfortunately, it's being normalized. And this is why I feel like we need to address it. Creators, influencers are becoming entitled to your most valuable asset, your attention. And it's destroying their own creativity, their process, their intentions, their joy. And I believe it also erodes the bridge, the connection between the creator and the listener, the viewer as well. You know, I see posts all the time like, normalize blocking people who just watch but don't engage with your art. They're hurting your content. Or ones like this. People on IG are so weird. All they do is watch you all day. No interactions, just watch you. Silent watchers are everywhere. They won't like, comment, or support, but they'll watch every moment you make. They're not fans, they're spectators. Curious, but not courageous enough to engage. Not courageous enough to leave a comment on your post. This is what I call creator entitlement, and it will destroy your creative process by leaking your creative energy onto the floor, leaving you with resentment and worry, bitter and jaded like these posts. Because of social media, we have rewired ourselves to expect the rewards and the outcome, right? Instant gratification. We think about it before we even start. We think about it while we're in the process. And when our expectations aren't met, when they're not matched, it creates this attitude, this entitlement. Nobody is expected to engage with your content. Just like you're not expected to try out every restaurant you walk by. You might even stop, look in the window, see what they got, and just keep it moving because you're not in the mood for pizza today. And look at all the options that you have.
You have to earn support. I got to a point where I thought I could just announce something and post a flyer and it's going to be sold out. No, do what you did for your first show when it meant something to you. Have that enthusiasm about your own work. And I learned, it taught me no, you got to get out there and market if you want people's support. No one just has to show up for you.
If you're not feeling it while you're making it, how do you expect us to feel it when you drop it? Nobody asked for your art. In 2025, very few people are logging onto social media with the intention of, let me support someone today. Let me boost a creator's popularity so they can get more brand deals. No, they are tired. They got their own life going on. They got their own joy, their own chaos. People scroll Instagram or TikTok like they used to scroll TV, flipping the channels mindlessly. And sometimes they stumble upon something inspiring or funny or informative, and then they feel called to engage, and sometimes they don't. And that is really their right, you understand? Just because you made it doesn't mean anybody has to engage with it. And if you're copying other people's content, doing the trends, really just kind of blending into the same thing everyone else is doing, not creating something that hasn't really been done before or seen before, in reality, what do you expect? You expect the world to drop and clap because you showed up and you showed us your iced matcha drink for the day? You have to create something that grabs their heart, something that generally brings a value into their life. It makes them laugh. It inspires them to get healthy. The amount of people that have come up to me in the streets and told me they started drinking tea because of me, right? Maybe you elevate people's fashion choices or help them launch their business or just simply shift their perspective and provide that emotional support and connection to get them through the day. But you have to create something that resonates with them if you truly want some type of engagement. But just because you made it doesn't mean anyone has to engage with it, not even your friends or family. Because the truth is, and I know that one stings, people are like, no, your friends and family have to support what you're doing. Truth is, nowadays, everybody knows 50 different people on social media doing something. It would be like a part-time job to go online every day, search all your friends, all your coworkers, your cousins, everybody you know on social media, watch it all, engage, form an opinion, comment, and support. It would be a full-time job.
Okay, but do you follow me? Did you like the video? Did you comment on the video? All of those things are free to do.
No, it's not that hard to double tap. But why are you entitled to people's attention and engagement? I want to call it weird behavior, but the truth is, we will all go through it, or many of us will go through it. So let's not demonize it, but let's humble it. Let's ground it so we can remove this, I like to call it residue from our process, because this attitude is causing a lot of suffering for creators, right? And people are quitting or just losing the joy in what they do. And this attitude just lacks so much nuance. The way algorithms these days are designed anyways, you don't even see everything that you follow, the people that you literally subscribe to. I have people who come up to me and be like, hey, are you still making content? Because I don't come up on their algorithms anymore. And I took some time off. But am I going to be angry that they didn't think of me in the midst of their joy or chaos in their own life and check up on me and boost my popularity and tune into everything that I do a lot and tune into everything that I do? No. And the reality is, what you create, this is a tough reality for some of you. What you create may not be your friends or family's cup of tea. It may not be their vibe. And that is okay. I have friends who are like, yeah, Heinz, your videos are just not my vibe. And I'm like, I get it, but we're still friends. I have friends who, truth is, I don't like their music. It's not that good to me, but we're still friends. We support each other in many different ways. You understand? Support doesn't just come with a double tap on social media. What is a double tap anyways? It's also, hey, I'm moving. Can you give me a hand with these boxes, bro? Or man, you just got out of a bad breakup. Let's have dinner. Let's call the gang out and let's go hang out and connect and have a good time. And if it's really important to you that the people closest to you are supporting this thing, then you need to communicate to your friends and your family how excited you are that your last YouTube video got 10,000 views and you would love for them to celebrate that with you. So in that moment, they can see how much it means to you instead of you assuming and expecting them to celebrate you online every day. Just like real life shit, you know? Like, I rarely see anybody posting their Uncle Jim's plumbing business on the Uncle Jim's services on social media, right? Everybody is doing something with their life now, using social media to promote whatever they are doing. It's the norm. The local warehouse, local steel warehouse by here has an Instagram account. The cafe down the street, they share their cinnamon buns on TikTok. But for some reason, it's like the influencers and the creators that have developed this entitlement that everybody who sees them must support them. And if they don't, they're just jealous haters.
Why? It's because they're insecure, they're triggered, they're jealous, they're envious, they want to watch what you're doing, but they don't want to tell you that they are.
No. The problem with this entitlement is it's wasted focus and wasted energy. And you got such beautiful creative energy that could be placed in the direction that matters. All that energy could be going into your craft, your vision, your process, into you becoming so good that the world actually can't ignore you. You're everywhere. And that attitude, that entitlement creates this unnecessary resentment. And that pulls us out of the creative process, pulls us out of truly creating something special. And for many of us, it causes us to lose motivation because we throw our hands in the air and we're like, what's the point? And then you start pointing fingers at everybody like, it's your fault. You're all haters. You're jealous. You didn't support me. The algorithm isn't pushing my videos. I'm in TikTok jail. I made it so the world needs to engage with it. It's like when a kid gets a temper tantrum because they did not get their own way.
The majority of the people who watch you are silent haters. Just because they're not talking doesn't mean they ain't watching. So you just got to keep doing you.
This is unnecessary behavior. Now, I get the intention is to motivate people to keep on going. And are there jealous people in the world? Yes. Are there haters? Yes, we all got them. I got them too. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever been jealous before? Real question. Yes, you have. I know you have because you're a human being and we're all having a human experience. Have you ever been jealous of even someone you're close to, someone you love? Most likely, guaranteed. Why? Well, you were feeling off about your own life. It hasn't been working out for you. And for some reason, everyone around you is blossoming and you have this fear that you will be left behind. And it's not because you don't want the best for people. It's just you want to be at the table too and you're struggling with your own timeline. It's something that everybody experiences or struggles with at some point. We are social creatures. We need community. So if you truly care about your impact on what you are creating, you're not really going to be tripping if Sarah didn't like all your posts or bring like up your last YouTube video over lunch, or like user 22555 left a negative comment. You know, like here's the hard truth. It might not just be that good either, right? Like it might not be that good. We have this idea that if we make something and we show up, then it's like, okay, engage with it. It has to be good. No, this entitlement, this expectation will hurt us.
People with very high expectations have very low resilience. And unfortunately, resilience matters in success. I don't know how to teach it to you except for I hope suffering happens to you.
And that is the mindset of somebody who has built one of the most successful companies on the planet at the moment. When you don't get the results that you want, you've got two choices. You go deeper, you sharpen your craft, you build your resilience, and you make the process a vibe again. Or you quit and you settle for whatever instant gratification, cheap dopamine hit. And then you just swim in your entitlement and put your shoulders up like it's everybody else's fault. I made a video and people aren't liking it. I'm on Instagram and no one's pushing me into becoming a superstar and fame so I can make millions of dollars. They're just silent haters. They're just monitoring spirits. How dare they? You know what I mean? Come on. The choice you make doesn't just shape your results. It shapes your character and molds your creative energy. It places your focus in the direction that matters. If you truly care about the things that you are making, become so good that they can't ignore you. The truth is 98% of people aren't even at that level, right? I seen someone the other day say, I just spent 6 hours editing a YouTube video. Is this normal? Yes, it's normal. Now do 10,000 hours. Now stick with it for 5 years, 10 years before it truly works the way you want it to. That's how bad you have to want it. But how committed are you to the process, to being in the process, or are you lost in the rewards? You should become so immersed in the journey, not the likes. We should be observing the culture and tapping into what people need right now and seeing if we have the gifts and utilize them to fill that void and truly be there, or just create something you desperately want to see in the world. But the reason why I think, because I've been thinking about this a lot, because I see it all day, every day. I'm on Threads. I look on these platforms and I just see this entitlement. And I think it's the intention that a lot of us have. I came across this thread the other day. I think social media has depleted personalities to the point where people are literally doing things they don't even genuinely like because it's popular. And then I said, there has always been two groups of people on social media, creators and consumers. The reality is a big portion of the consumers became creators, but most only mirrored what they had been consuming. To be a creative and an artist, you go through an incubation phase, exploring and experimenting, slowly shaping a style that is your own, often in isolation. But for many, the hunger for popularity or quick money made them skip that stage entirely. This is why so many lack their own style. They wanted the attention, right? But if your process takes a backseat to getting attention, you're not creating. You're just campaigning to be seen. But if you develop your own style, your own world, your own thing, you understand? And like your own thing, why when you go online, it's almost as if you can see a carbon copy of so many different people, right? Because often to carve your own style, you gotta go into the void and discover yourself and experiment, right? Share things that flops, but you stick to your vision, you stick to your ways. That's how artists are born, by believing in what they feel within. And when you develop your own thing, it equips you with the confidence to move through the necessary voids when nobody is paying attention. We live in an interesting time. Before an artist, a creative, somebody would make something, and before the world saw it, it was a long time. Before they could get any type of applause, it would be a long time. They couldn't just post on social media and get instant feedback. No, they had to believe in what they were making. They had to create it and get no applause. Maybe people didn't see that painting for years, hear that song till 2 years down the road. Some people never got the song on the radio at all. When you go through those voids, right? When you don't get the applause, it builds your resilience, right? It helps you shape and sharpen your craft because you love what you do and you believe in it enough to keep going. You don't need the external validation to prove something to you. You're onto something, you know it. But if you're chasing to be seen, my friend, you will never see the finish line and you'll just keep moving further and further from yourself. I truly believe expressing yourself creatively is like a spiritual journey in a way. It's like a self-development tool. It allows you to go deep into the process of you and discover things that you didn't even know were there. But if not, you could just dig a deeper hole, a void within yourself, lost in the likes and stuff like that. What you should be focused on is real connection through your creations. And that starts with you. You have to connect with it first. Step into the journey, get lost, carve out your own style, your own world, infuse meaning into it. If you don't feel it while you are making it, how do you expect us to feel it when you drop it? You have to create that connection, but real connection isn't just built from one post or a couple likes. It's built from constantly showing up and sharing and honoring your process. And if you think about it, like what is a like anyways? It's just a double tap. It doesn't mean that much. People are fighting for attention on platforms where there's no real attention anymore. Like think about this, like if someone's on Instagram or TikTok for 15 minutes, they're not technically there to meaningfully engage. They're probably in a distraction loop. So if you expect deep connection in a place built for shallow swipes, you'll always feel let down. Don't just fight for attention where it barely exists. Build spaces, your own world, where people actually can choose to listen. Create your own world, create like an immersive experience. And it should be so contagious that people feel the need to email you, thanking you, or approach you in the streets and tell you, I love what you do. If that does not happen to you yet, if you don't get the emails, if the people don't recognize you in the streets yet, you got work to do. You got work to do. Because there's a trap that many of us fall into, and I call it the lost art of effort. We've seen so many people rise to the top by what seemed to be low effort. Social media is on easy mode. It was the new trend, right? But I actually think the direction we need to go in is this.
I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is, I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. This doesn't signify that, but it's a little more fuel. It's a little more ammo to keep going. Thank you so much.
I want to be the best. And he's committed to that, right? Commit yourself. Don't just take the easy route just because you want instant gratification. Many of us feel entitled because we believe our hard work should be rewarded, because we live in a world that has taught us and even shown us in ways, if you work hard, you will reap your reward. So if we put in the effort should be matched. In school, if you studied hard, you should have got better grades. In sports, the more hours you train, the stronger you became. But in the creator world, there's like no rules. You can put in hours upon hours upon hours into something, pour everything you got into it, and it's crickets. No engagement, no attention, no money, year after year after year. And obviously that hurts. We all start there. We all have been there. And then you could throw something together in like 5 minutes, in 10 minutes out of nowhere, and it goes viral and it makes no sense. You're like, what is going on? And that sometimes even repels you from wanting to put effort into things, because you're like, well, that was easy. I should just try to do everything that's easy. And the more you default to instant gratification, the more you train yourself to avoid depth. And that's the loop that kills creativity. Playing it safe, repeating yourself, or even like lowering the bar, not because you can't go higher, but because you're scared that effort won't be rewarded right away. Truth is, some of your best work won't get the most attention. My first video that took off took 3 years after publishing it. Sometimes you're just early, and that's okay. But that work is still, I believe, a deposit into your creative legacy. It's the kind of work that builds trust, depth, and longevity. See it as like a contribution to your whole body of work, your whole world. I am all about right now is protecting and nurturing the creative process, because many of us, we just may feel way too entitled and it's harming us. I built between all my platforms, I have about 2 million followers. And the way the platforms have shifted and changed, algorithms focus on interests instead of like who you follow. And I would get upset too. I'm like, I can't even access the people who all follow me and subscribe to me. But at the same time, I'm like, I never built these platforms. I just used them for distribution. I don't own YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or Spotify. These aren't my companies. These are like rented audiences in a way. And that's when I realized the power in building your own world, your own website, your own newsletter, your own community, your own products, your own world. And our sponsor of the day, Squarespace, gives you all the tools that you need to succeed. And whether you're just starting out or growing and managing brands, Squarespace really does make it easy to create a beautiful website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from products to content to time, all in one place and all on your own terms. I'm getting ready to design and launch some new products for my community that I'm quite excited about. And what I love about Squarespace is it provides you with new tools and features where you can really envision and create your own world online. Like a feature that I think is cool is design intelligence. It helps you build a website that's not only beautiful, but truly personalized to your brand. And I love how easy they make it to manage payments. I am like a creative artist first, and then I think about payments. So they make it so simple with Squarespace payments. Onboarding is so quick, and just with a few clicks, you can start receiving payments. Plus, you can offer your customers popular payment methods like Klarna, Apple Pay, and more. You should check out Blueprint AI, their latest AI-enhanced website builder. It asks you a few questions, gets to know your business, your brand, or you, and then Blueprint AI crafts a fully custom on-brand website for you with premium quality content matched to your style. If you're trying to take your online presence to the next level, head to squarespace.com for a free trial And then when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/Heinz to save 10% off your first purchase. I quickly want to talk about the nature of different viewers online because I think this is interesting. I live stream quite often and in certain seasons, and those live streams are like the usuals who are in the chat engaging all the time. Like I can name a few of them on the top of my head. There's Tabitha, there's Yafet, there's Mel, there's Jay Prodigy, and so many others that I can name as well. Let's call them the type A personalities.
I'm someone who considers myself a chronic engager because if there's one thing about me, I will engage with your content. I will like your post, I will comment on your post, I will share your post, I will like your story, I will swipe up on your story, I will do all the things.
The extroverts of the chat rooms. But every so often, someone will say something. A name will pop up I've never seen before, and they will say, I never comment. But I just wanted to let you know today that I've been watching and tuning into you for 4 or 5 years, and I appreciate everything that you do. Beautiful, right? We'll call these the type B viewers, the introverts. There are different personalities online. Some people engage and some don't. But guess what? You may have people who comment and like all your stuff, but they will never actually buy anything or that you're selling. And then the quiet observers are the ones sometimes buying your products as well. I've experienced this firsthand, right? I've been actually utterly surprised by finding out who have been some of my silent watchers. So people support in all different types of ways. Some people support by just watching, by commenting, by liking, by buying stuff, by reaching out, by sending emails. I have people come up to me in the street. I cherish those connections the most. I told myself, hey, like every week a few people recognize me. If for some reason I start to notice like that number triples, I must be reaching more people. I'm not going to be measuring my impact by views and likes. I'm going to measure it by the emails that I get, the long DMs that I get, people explaining something that I said that helped them or something that they loved, and by the interactions I have offline that happen because of the online. That's how I'll measure it. But just because somebody doesn't engage doesn't mean they are a hater or some like monitoring spirit, right? Listen, this is a real take right here from a person on how they use social media. So are we supposed to be liking and engaging with every single post we come across? Sometimes I just get on social media to doom scroll and don't want to engage in any kind of conversation with anybody. All right? Sometimes people are just scrolling, escaping their own life for a minute. They got their own stuff going on. They're not trying to hate. Think about like when you go to a party, you have like individuals who are like the life of the party, right? Like they're loud, they're talking to everybody, they're on top of the tables. Then you have the people that kind of stick to their one friend that they came with. That's kind of me sometimes. And then you have the people who leave early. Then you have the ones who are just high out of their own mind, just there for the music, just vibing. The internet is the same way. Everybody's showing up in their own way. Stop viewing every viewer as if every viewer has the same personality or activity. This entitlement, because that's what it is, this entitlement causes us to focus more on the attention and the rewards than the creation. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is the art, the message, the content, right? Nail that first, then figure out the business side of things, the marketing side of things, and continue to nurture it and keep the process as pure as possible. Anything else is noise. Seeing like who is watching your story and who's not watching your story is noise. Noticing your friend hasn't liked your last 3 posts is noise. It's misplaced energy and focus. Putting your all into something and then it not meeting your expectation in engagement is a call to stay focused and share it more if you believe in it. Believe in it. Shout it to the world. If you believe in it that much, you get it out there. We have this attitude, well, I posted it once, so like it should be loved. No, get it out there. And if not, you lost the plot. You crave attention. But guess what? Attention is cheap now. Everyone's scrolling, people are distracted, the feeds are flooded. And a lot of people can barely watch a movie or like read a book anymore. Attention spans have gone down. So it doesn't make sense to be fighting for attention when people also have limitless options to spend their attention, right? There's billions and billions and billions pieces of content are getting posted every day, and that number is about to 1,000 times X because of AI. But what's even better than attention? What's even more rare now is intention and connection. So that's where you have to start. Start with the right intention. When you get into the process, that's the spark. You have to connect deeper with yourself and your creations to have a better connection with the audience. It's not about just grabbing eyeballs. It's about holding hearts now, right? It's not just about the scroll. It's about, hey, stop, slow down with me. And it's about you making the process a vibe again. That is number one. Again, if you did not enjoy it while you were making it, why would you expect us to enjoy it when you drop it? If likes and views distract you and leak your creative energy, then it is time for you to pull yourself back and measure success in new ways. Don't measure your worth by a couple double taps or who's liking it. Measure it by, did I enjoy making this? Did I say something true? Did I learn something or discover something about myself? Did one person feel seen or inspired? Did I challenge myself? And does this add to my body of work, my world? If you can't answer yes to these, then I don't even know why you're thinking about getting attention. Why are you thinking about engagement and likes and views and money? Once you can say yes to these, then go put on your marketing hat and your campaign hat and push your creations into the universe. But first, you need to master the process, get into it. Engagement and likes fade, trends fade, platforms even go away. 10 years from now, who knows what platforms are around? None of the YouTube probably be here, but who knows what platform? Like, I don't use Facebook much anymore. It's there, but like, I don't use it. But one thing will always remain the same. When you win in the process, that is how you win the game, because that is the true reward. Because the destination is in every step. It's not in a follower count. Because if you tell yourself, I want 100,000 followers, once you get 100,000, you're going to want 200,000. You're going to want 300,000. It will never stop. The destination is in every step. Make the process a vibe again, and you will start to see everything come together beautifully. And you don't know in hindsight, everything going to be all right. We the creators are going to be changing the world. Trust that, know that.